Hi, my name's Shay Coker, Managing Director at Savills in Miami. Today I've got a guest from Brazil. His name is José Luís Barros. He's the CEO of Vizzio Real Estate Strategy. Vizzio is an important partner of Savills in Brazil. And so thanks for coming on.
Hello, Shay. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Hope you're doing well in the lockdown we are here in the U.S.
Yeah, we are trying to do the best here.
Wanted to ask you a few questions. The first one is, if you could just kind of tell us what the real estate market in Brazil was like in São Paulo before this lockdown started.
Yeah, the market was heating up since the third quarter of 2018, mainly due to the WeWork expansion here in the local market. Okay, and then the market that was pro-tenant start being neutral to pro-landlord, with prices increasing, vacancy rates going down, some districts just few area for new tenants. So I can tell you that the market changed very fast from the second semester of 2018 by the end of 2019, beginning 2020.
Right. So things were starting to get well, for tenants a little bit more expensive, right?
Yeah, for tenants, start the rent start increase, and less concession, and landlords start being tough, and a revision in rents, increasing rent, because law here in Brazil allow to put in the market price each 3 years. So that was the scenario previous to the coronavirus. Okay.
What about the industrial market? What was it like?
Industrial market, more the heat was more for let's say warehouse condominium near the city of São Paulo, in the more around 100 kilometers away from São Paulo. This was hitting, with a lot of developers trying to buy land to develop a new condominiums.
Right. So, what has been the effect of this lockdown on your clients?
In the beginning, they stopped to evaluate the scenario, did not cancel projects, but right after many project was suspended, and since the lockdown starts in March, companies immediately start working in home office, and surprisingly for everybody here, they could operate remotely, and apparently not suffering in terms of performance to the company operation. Okay, but the other thing was an intensification of cost cutting, personal cutting, and reduction of working hours, because the government created a program that the companies could cut working hours, and the government complement give a cash aid to avoid unemployment. So I can tell you, mass negotiation of less payment, lease postponing, rental reduction, discounts, temporary suspension. This was the pretty much the scenario immediately after. Okay.
Right. What are some things that you guys are doing to help tenants at this time?
Yeah, the situation was I can tell good for a company like ours. The market, the companies trying to work in smaller office spaces. Okay, So our company is trying to help them in assisting in, of course, first reduction of rental discounts, the thing that is more urgent for the companies, okay? That means cutting costs. We are helping these companies to analyze where they can cut costs during the quarantine period, using our experience to help them in this particular sense. We also are helping companies to and using our extensive experience in new ways of forms of office operation, because we since 2014 we have helped a lot of companies to move. We had a period of flight to quality here during the recession of 2014, to move for better buildings using less space. Okay, so with this experience we take place, and based on this, we are pretty confident that we can help companies to reduce after they experience the experience of home office, and now they no longer they are confident that this no longer represent risk in operational. We are pretty confident that we can help these companies to reduce 30% to 50% office area without and maintaining staff and operational performance. If companies, let's say, reduce the staff, this reduction can be even bigger than this. Okay.
Right. What? So how do you see the future of corporate real estate in Brazil after this is all over?
Yeah, as I guess in many parts of the world, if we think about São Paulo, that is the main Brazilian market, we can see that the office will be a place to more to face and to have information and to work together, to have team workers. Individual jobs tend to be done remotely, as I guess you see in the United States as well. Part of the workday probably will be done outside, in any place, any hour. Okay, forgetting about problems with legals and blah blah. That in Brazil is a big concern. Okay, but thinking about just in the operation, that's the what will happen in our opinion. The consequences: less hours spent in personal commuting, and of course lower demand for space by corporate office, and in terms of the buildings, the best buildings will be occupied, and the buildings that are less suitable, they will be retrofitted or will be adapted for new uses, or even replaced by other types of occupants. That's what we understand. Okay.
Interesting.
In terms of the industrial market, during this period, the increase of the e-commerce, in our opinion, is something that will not return to the past. Okay, so the demand for warehouses and centers to bring products closer to the consumers will be a reality, and trends to increase also this market mainly for industrial and warehouses. Okay.
All right. What are a couple of things?
I have an Indian behind me.
Yeah, I noticed that. What are a couple of things that differentiate the corporate real estate market in Brazil from, for example, the U.S.? I can remember you have a market revision every 3 years, or after the first 3 years of the lease contract. What's that like? Could you explain that a little bit?
No, this is in our law. Okay, it's part of the lease law, and both parts, tenants or landlord, can adjust. We had periods in Brazil had a crisis in 2001, energy crisis, and another crisis in 2014. That during this the 3 years and 4 years after this starting this crisis, tenants went to the landlords and renegotiate and putting down rents. The contrary happened from 2010 to 2013 landlord market, and now previous to this crisis started again landlord raising rents. That's one thing. Another thing is players here must be very, very flexible, because things change very fast here, coming from euphoria to depression and vice versa. It's very, very fast, So if you are not flexible, you are going to have a problem to operate in Brazil. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, you actually answered my next question too, which was kind of the top things companies should know about setting up operations in Brazil. So one, they have to be flexible. Is that what you're saying? And
yeah. Here and flexibility is inside the Brazilian way of doing things. A lot of times I with international clients, Savills clients, exchanging emails with Brazilian guys, and it's a hard negotiation. And always I say, listen, even receiving a no, it's better to sit down in a face-to-face meeting with the Brazilian guys, to look in the eyes and to have the understanding of the guy. The guy feel you, and I can guarantee you, and the most part of times we could improve the situation with face-to-face. We have experience in this in the last 3-4 months previous to the crisis, helping Savills clients here. A lot of times, that's something that companies must know.
Right. Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for joining us, Zé, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you, Shay. Thank you for the opportunity to talk a little bit about Brazil. Okay. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.